Hello and welcome. We're back again. It is another team launch and it is Trackhouse today. The Trackhouse MotoGP team getting ready to show off and unveil their colours. Don't forget, you guys at home can have your say, give your opinion, join the conversation and get your comments sent in the chat and try and keep them nice and polite. We've got one in already. Let's go. I tell you what, let's go indeed. Not long until we all go off to Malaysia for the shakedown test and the Sepang test coming up, of course, into February. And then we're off to do a team launch. Then we're off to Buriram for more testing. And then, well, the PR nonsense stops and the talking on track does begin. The Trackhouse team took a real step up last season, hoping for some more. Great results from Raul and I in 2026. Unforgettable year for Trackhouse. We're going to talk a lot about that in the next few moments, I am sure. But fantastic stuff from Raul Fernandez, who was right at the front of the field last year. Let's have a look at what we've done so far. We've already seen Toprak Razgatlioglu, one of our two rookies in 2026, unveiled with Prima Pramac. That was our first one. Then we moved swiftly on to the VR46 operation and Aprilia just last week. Starting this week, we had Ducati from the Madonna di Campiglio and the Dolomites. Then it was Yamaha this morning. A lovely first look at the V4 in all of its colours and beauty. And now it's Trackhouse's turn. We get Red Bull, KTM, both of the factory team and the Tech 3 teams. And then it is the Gresini team, LCR Honda and the factory Honda. But today it is Trackhouse's day. But before we talk more about that, I told you we had something special coming up in Kuala Lumpur for our season launch. This is just how special. Check this out. That just gets you going, doesn't it? If that doesn't make you want to follow MotoGP in 2026, I don't know what will. Of course, throughout the course of the programme, we are going to have polls open. And our first one is this one. Will Raul Fernandez win a Grand Prix again in 2026? An unbelievable performance in Australia. Can he replicate it elsewhere or on multiple occasions this year? Simply just say yes or no, and our algorithm will come up with the percentages. So have your say. That's your first one. And don't forget, leave a reason why you think Raul Fernandez will or will not be a Grand Prix winner, a MotoGP winner in 2026. A fantastic season in 2025. Really did start to build, let's say, from Le Mans, but it all came to that peak in Australia. Check this out.
This is just in his hands now. 1.7 seconds clear. He is of Digia.
Vamos, hijo. Venga, es 1-7. 1-7.
Can we have another first-time winner in MotoGP? And it is the phenomenal Raul Fernandez in Phillip Island who wins the Australian Grand Prix for Trackhouse Aprilia.
Bravo! Bravo! Las últimas 7 vueltas. Bravo, sí. La mano, tío. Sí, sí. No, ha sido cuando me he quitado el tiro, tenía esta mano ya reventada. De izquierda. After 3 years.
Maria never stopped crying.
I think she cried more than me, eh? The problem is maybe you believe that we get it, but still I don't believe.
Amazing flashback there to that fantastic Sunday in Australia. Raul just, I think from really the middle part of the season, you could just tell that he was a different rider and very deserving to do it at Phillip Island as well. It's not an easy place to go and win your first Grand Prix, but top stuff from the 25. Raul Boy 2026 runner-up. If he's your runner-up, who's going to be your favourite? Who's going to be your champion at the end of 2026? Of course, we've got Marc Marquez backfighting fit for this year in Ducati's 100th year. We have got Marco Bezzecchi, who was in fine form, Alex Marquez, who in the last few rounds of 2025 scored more points than anyone else and was of course a Grand Prix winner on multiple occasions across the whole season, so you've got to be looking at those as your main rivals. But Raul Fernandez, the way he finished 2025 was absolutely phenomenal, and he'll be looking to really pick up from where he left off. Will Raul Fernandez win a Grand Prix again in 2026? More than 3/4 of you saying yes. 76% of you saying yes, 24% of you saying no. Keep on sending in your thoughts and your comments and voting yes or no. Raul Fernandez, really, really excited to see what he can do. We're going to hear from him later on. It is worth noting that starting last year, a lot of people had said Raul Fernandez's time in the MotoGP paddock, or at least in the Premier Class MotoGP category, had come to an end. Well, there's only one way to silence your critics, and that is to do all your talking out there on the track. And Raul Fernandez certainly did grow in stature throughout the course of the season. We thought the purple patch was his run of top tens in the middle of the season. Then he went on to fight for podiums, achieve podiums, and then that victory down under where he was, of course, on top. Fantastic from the 25. And with that victory in Australia, Trackhouse did become the 11th team out of the 11 on the grid to win a Grand Prix. For the first time in MotoGP, all of the teams go in to 2026 as Grand Prix winners from previous years. It is a phenomenal achievement, and it just goes to show the depth and the breadth of the talent in MotoGP. It's not easy to win a Grand Prix. It's arguably the hardest it has ever been, and Raul Fernandez can now count himself as one of those who was able to get really down to business and show his true potential. For sure, he will win, but maybe not multiple times. Thank you at the Incisor for that one. I've got to say, you never know in MotoGP. I kind of agree with you. I think he'll win. Whether multiple, we're talking 4 or 5, or Raul, it will be 1 or 2. I think it will be 1 or 2, maybe 3, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, the Aprilia evolving all the time. It is one of the strongest packages out there now on the grid, but it's still a little bit shy of that number 93 Ducati, isn't it? Witnessing Raul win at Phillip Island. Oh, we just missed that, but thank you for that one. I'm sure it was very, very positive and emotional, and I'm sure it was exactly the same for him. He was saying in that VT we played just a moment ago that he even when talking behind the scenes, couldn't quite believe it had even sunk in yet, said Raul Fernandez. 77% of you now saying that he will win a Grand Prix again in 2026. 23% of you saying no. So I tell you what, I'd have been very intrigued to see the results of that poll had we asked it 12 months ago, and see how many of you had backed Raul Fernandez to take a Grand Prix victory. Of course, on the other side of the Trackhouse MotoGP box, we had Ogura, and we do have Ogura again for 2026. Trickier season, you've got to say, for but it started with a bang in Thailand. Remember this?
There is Ogura. Absolutely unbelievable, this, isn't it? Ogura, a sensational 5th place for the rookie. Take a bow once again. The absolutely sensational. We've been thumbing the thesaurus here, haven't we, to try and find more words to describe the utter brilliance of Ogura.
This one was long, eh? Now it's your problem. Now you should. We remain the same. Some races will be good, some races will be bad. That's how to do it. That's life. And this. Exactly. The same. Like to learn.
I do love that clip because it does say that that was a long one. That's in reference to the Saturday sprint when, again, Ogura was inside the top 5. If memory serves me correctly, he was 4th, but I'm sure I'll be corrected on that if I am wrong indeed. Let me know. But Ogura, really, really strong start to 2025. Of course, he went on to be in the top 10 plenty more times, but just a few injuries holding him back. And of course, that Sunday in Japan, his home Grand Prix, he wasn't able to take part, in a lot of pain with those injuries that he had. So I'm excited for Ogura. I don't want to use too many puns at this stage of the season, but do keep an eye on him because he is going to be pretty special in a second season aboard MotoGP machinery. I hope Ogura takes his first win in MotoGP. Thank you very much for that comment. I'm sure he will agree with you. He's got a little bit of a step to make first, but I've got to say, I'm confident that Ogura, maybe not a win, but it will be a first podium. I'm fairly sure on that, and we're going to be asking that question very soon, so let us know what you think. Ogura will be top 5. Golden Eye AO79. Yeah, he wasn't quite golden last year, and definitely started off as Aprilia's golden boy because he bagged their best results in Buriram. So Ogura, when it's all working for him, and perhaps when the opposition just still trying to figure things out, he's definitely in the mix, isn't he? And he had that amazing start, I remember, in the Buriram sprint last year, down towards turn 1. He was putting that RSGP Aprilia right in the thick of it. Cat certainly amongst pigeons, but we'll just have to wait and see what he's able to do this year, and let's hope he does have a full pre-season without injury and he can get down to business pretty quickly when we go to Thailand. Can't wait to see I's progress in 2026, me neither. Ogura in Thailand at P4, and yes, he will be back in P4 and maybe podium in 2026. Thank you for that one, Croaking Frog 2871. Do keep your comments coming in, of course. What I'm excited to see from Ogura this year is whether or not, there's two things. His qualifying needs to improve. You could say that for quite a lot of riders, all the way up to Pecco Bagnaia, really. I mean, Pecco struggled a lot at times in 2025 with that new Desmos Adichie because if it wasn't going his way on a Friday, generally he was a little bit lost when it came to qualifying. So qualifying is hard in MotoGP, and it's getting harder. Ogura needs to improve that, and he also needs to improve his overall race pace because his pace at the end is very, very good. Of course, MotoGP, if you're not watching it at home, firstly, why aren't you? You're missing out. Secondly, if you can get to the track, brilliant. There's an amazing experience waiting for you. It is MotoGP Premiere, and that poster says it all. Experience MotoGP like never before. It goes to all 22 rounds of the season. We, of course, start in Thailand in just around, what are we now? Yeah, a month away, 5 weeks away from that first Grand Prix of the year. We go to Brazil, and then it's all the way until Valencia in the 3rd week of November. You can enjoy MotoGP Premiere at every single event. Hello from Rhode Island, USA. Thank you for this one, Stumpy421. Ready for Ogura's second season and for Raul to continue his strong end of season form from last year. Raul Fernandez's form at the end of last year was something to behold, particularly in Valencia, particularly in Indonesia, particularly when we went to Phillip Island. He was right there. I think Raul Fernandez, he's going to have a better year. I think 2026 is going to be his best season in MotoGP, and that is only by virtue of the fact that he started last year with all those injuries and people writing him off right from the start. So I do agree with you. 2026, can't wait to see how Raul unfolds. At MotoGP, Fernandez and Ogura ready to win. Let's hope so. Trackhouse have now got that Grand Prix winning experience. They have got the same lineup. That's something that is often not hailed enough, is that they have consistency within the garage. They have consistency in the feedback from the start of last year right the way through to the end of this year. They have 2 riders that okay, perhaps will want to be on factory bikes by the end of the season, but with that they'll be wanting to perform well, and consistency with a happy rider lineup, it is a recipe for success generally. Do keep your comments coming in. We are just a few moments away from crossing over to Trackhouse and seeing what colours they've got lined up. We saw plenty of special liveries in 2025. I'm fairly sure we are going to have a few more. After this, we are going to have plenty of feedback, but I can tell you they are ready. We're going to cross over to Trackhouse from myself, Kiko Giles. See you on the other side of this.
Today, we officially launch the 2026 season for the Trackhouse MotoGP team, and we're excited to welcome fans in the USA and around the world. I'll soon be joined by the stars of the show, Trackhouse's team riders, Raul Fernandez and Ogura, who will pull the covers off two of the team's brand new Aprilia RSGP26 prototype MotoGP bikes. We'll also hear from team principal Davide Brivio as we reflect on last year's success and look ahead to the upcoming season. Trackhouse is the only Premier Class MotoGP team from the USA. With its racing HQ in Charlotte, North Carolina, it was formed in 2023 and debuted in MotoGP in 24. Racing is at the heart of Trackhouse. Later, we'll hear from the owner and founder, Justin Marks, who is a racer and entrepreneur. Justin had the bold vision to build Trackhouse as a motorsports and entertainment organization. First off, they entered the NASCAR Cup Series in 2021. The young team quickly earned a reputation for a fresh, disruptive approach to racing, and success came in just its second season, when Ross Chastain went to victory lane and Trackhouse claimed its first Cup Series win with the #1 Trackhouse Chevrolet. And since then, Trackhouse have scored 14 Cup wins. But today is all about the Trackhouse MotoGP team. In just its second MotoGP season last year, Trackhouse made a major statement. Rookie Ogura impressed from the opening round, grabbing 4th place in his first sprint and 5th in the Grand Prix, while Raul Fernandez built momentum throughout the year and secured his own and Trackhouse's first MotoGP victory at Phillip Island. Raul closed out the end of last season second on the podium in Valencia. Those results set the tone for an exciting season ahead. The riders have worked hard over the winter, and now it's time to welcome them here, Raul Fernandez and Ogura. Welcome, guys. Great to see you. Now you're still in your lab coats, I see. You're not giving anything away. Well, today marks the start of 2026 and the first time we will see the new bikes. But Raul, I'm going to start with you now. Are you feeling fit? You're feeling ready? How did you spend your winter break?
Hello everybody. Well, yeah, I feel super good because at the end we will start soon the new season. I can't wait to see the new livery, but yeah, the winter was good and I am happy to start now the new season.
Well, let's look a little bit back at 2025. After your injury on day 1 of the Malaysia test, the start of the season was tough. But after the Jerez in-season test, your form improved dramatically. And from the Italian Grand Prix onwards, you were almost always in the top 10. So what clicked for you?
I think between the race and the test we had a magic pizza. I remember well that after one of the most difficult race for me, MotoGP, we been in a restaurant and we eat a magic pizza. Then from there, everything changed and it was a fantastic feeling.
A magic picture in a restaurant. That must have been quite an image. Well, that improvement led to Indonesia and your first sprint podium. How much of that came from the work with your crew chief, Noe Herrera, and the team principal, Davide Brivio?
Well, with Noe, since 2021 that we are working together, and he's very important for me because he's the person in the box that when he have to say something good, he tell me, but especially when I make a mistake, he come and he tell me the bad thing, that it is very important for the riders. And also Davide. Davide have a lot of experience in MotoGP. He helped to me, especially in one of the more difficult moments in my life, like at the beginning of the season. And yeah, it is a pleasure to have this kind of person around me because I can learn every day about them.
Wonderful support for you. Now, Australia was another big step. Second in the sprint, and then on the Sunday, your first Grand Prix win. Talk us through that race and what that moment felt like, because it looked pretty special from where we were watching.
Yeah, it is the dream that I think everybody have when you are younger. So still sometimes I don't believe that we got the victory because we spent a lot of time, a lot of difficult moments, but at the end we got it. So yeah, it was a fantastic moment, and I think it was the best weekend of my life.
Well, it definitely deserved a proper celebration, and somewhere along the way you ended up with no hair. So what happened there? Tell us the story.
Yeah, I remember when I jumped to MotoGP, we had one conversation with my crew chief that one day we got a podium, we cut the hair and we got it, directly the victory. So we catch it, and it was a fantastic night.
Well, I'm sure it's growing back nicely now under your
coming.
cap.
It's
Yeah, it's
coming.
coming. Now, after the highs of Australia, things did get tough. First in Malaysia, and then the crash in Portugal and having to withdraw. And what did it take mentally and physically to come back a week later and perform the way that you did in Valencia? And what a great result there, second place.
Yeah, also Valencia was a really good race. But it was not an easy weekend because we had a back-to-back, and Portugal was one week before, and I had a big crash. But anyway, thanks to the physios and to the doctor, I was almost at 100%. But more than mentality was physically, because was not an easy recovery.
Well, a strong finish to the season there, so well done. And now we're going to look back to the beginning of the season and to the man who impressed on his MotoGP Premier Class debut, Ogura. Here you are. Now, a long journey from Japan. How are you feeling? And did you manage to pack your fishing rods?
I wanted to, but not this time. No, I had a good time in Japan during this winter, and yeah, feel like finally we're going to start the 26th season. So happy to be here.
Good. Now, you signed for Trackhouse in 2024 and then won the Moto2 World Championship. That really put a spotlight on you as you came into the first MotoGP class season with the team. How were you feeling this time last year?
That time, I was really excited, for sure, because to race in MotoGP is a dream for all the riders. So yeah, I remember I was really excited.
Now, as a rookie, how challenging was it to adapt to a MotoGP bike, especially the power, the braking, the electronics?
About MotoGP, everything surprised me a lot. But the first few races has been it's not easy, but it was quite okay to me, because most of the thing I don't really know. I don't really understand what MotoGP is that time. So yeah, the tough moment comes after. So yeah.
Well, how important were your crew chief, Giovanni Mattarolo, and your race engineer, Andy Griffith, in your development during the year? And that's working with an Italian and a Brit. How was all that for you?
I feel a lot of support from my team. So yeah, I think it's my turn to give something back to my guys. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, I think we all like the sound of that. Now, Thailand was where you won the Moto2 title. How did you deal with that pressure arriving there again for your first race of the season as a MotoGP rider?
nothing special. To me, it was just the first race of the MotoGP. For sure, it was to start the season in Thailand was really the positive things for me, because it's one of my favorite track. But
there weren't any extra demands that came with being in the spotlight there? Easy for you. Taking it in your stride, this rider. I like that. Well, you then backed it up with 2 great races, 4th in the sprint and 5th in the Grand Prix. So how big a confidence boost was that for you?
As I said before, for sure it was a good race, but you know, that time I don't really understand most of the things, so I just let it go, and you know, the result comes. But it was a good race, but the problem comes after. So.
Yeah, well, it's true. Unfortunately, it wasn't all plain sailing, and injuries later in the season at Silverstone and San Marino meant missing races, including your home Grand Prix at Motegi. And how tough was that for you?
As I said, I had a lot of injuries last year, and due to that, I missed a lot of tests as well. So yeah, definitely it's not a positive things for me, but. You know, sometimes you really need to experience that kind of thing to be a better version of yourself. So, yeah.
Well, even with the ups and downs, there were some strong results. And overall, how satisfied are you with your rookie season and the progress that you made?
That was acceptable. I mean, it's not good. It's not bad. It's not good, but. It's just acceptable.
Well, good. I admire your high standards, I like the sound of that. Well, thank you both for reflecting with us on that. And I would now like to bring in the Trackhouse team principal, Davide Brivio. Davide, welcome. Great to see you after the winter break. And how have the preparations been going coming into this next season?
Hi, hello everybody. Yeah, it's been a good winter where we keep busy planning and preparing the season, and here we are to start the 2026 season. We've been working with our headquarters in Charlotte in US with Justin Marks and all the group, all the guys. We're preparing the designs and the preparation for the beginning of season. And then of course there's been quite a lot of work also in Aprilia Racing, where they're preparing in a factory, they're preparing our bike, our machine for the season. And so yeah, overall, a good winter, hopefully, and then we will see soon.
Now, the team's racing partnership with Aprilia, how important has that been to Trackhouse's performance?
Yeah, this is very important. We're very happy about the relationship we have with Aprilia. First of all, I think the most important thing is that we were running and we gone around the same equipment, so the same factory bike as the other Aprilia, and this is very, very important for our activity. But also we were very well together. We exchange information all together. Our engineer work in a big group, and the bike, like last season, was very good from the beginning, reliable, and then we also had quite good improvement through the season on engine performance, especially the aero package, which we got from Austria. And from that moment, I think also our results got better and better. So yeah, it's been a good cooperation, and big credit to the Aprilia group, to Massimo, Fabiano, and all the engineers working in the factory, because the progress we have done through the season, I think, has been quite remarkable. And so we're looking forward to 2026 now.
Well, thank you, Davide. Now, speaking of Aprilia, I think it's time we let everyone see the new Trackhouse RS GP26 bikes. So Raul, Ai, it's time. Show us what's under the covers. Well, so there they are, not one livery, but two. The new 2026 Trackhouse design and the new Golf design. They look absolutely stunning, don't they? Raul, let's start with you then. Your bikes, what do you think of the design and how does it feel seeing your name on the sides of the bike?
Yeah, it is amazing, the bike. I think we have almost the same color than the last year, but with a little bit more dark part, but this kind of dark is with a carbon part, and I think it's a fantastic, it's really nice. I can't wait to jump on the bike and to ride the bike.
Good, and for you, i.e. the Golf design, I mean, it's so iconic, these colors.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I can't wait to go out on a track with this design, and I hope you guys like it too.
Raul, what do you make of this Golf livery?
Also, it's really nice. I think everybody also, in my case, I am in love with this good livery. Also because I got my first sprint podium in MotoGP with this livery. So it is fantastic to have again this color this year. So yeah, it is a pleasure.
Now, Davide, we know that Golf joined Trackhouse in 2025 and ran their iconic colours on both Trackhouse bikes for the very first time in MotoGP at the 4 races, in Thailand for the opening race, Argentina, Indonesia and Malaysia. Davide, is that the plan again for 2026?
Yeah, we will continue this partnership with Golf. Of course, we're all very excited because everybody in the motorsport is in love with this iconic colors, and yeah, that's the plan again during the 2026 season, which is very important because Golf will be celebrating the 125th anniversary, and then we will start again in Thailand and the round 2, which is in Brazil this year, using this color, and then again Indonesia and Malaysia at the end of the season. But we also have something more for this coming season, because we're so happy that we will have a chance to show this color also in Europe, and we will be running the Golf livery during the Italian Grand Prix in Mugello. And we're so excited to have also in Europe and to show to all the European fans this iconic color. And so, yeah, we're really looking forward. We're so excited to carry on again.
Well, that is very exciting, and I'm certainly a fan of this. It's such a classic, and I can't wait to see the Golf colours and the Trackhouse design racing through the season. Now, Raul, coming back to you, the Trackhouse livery has evolved from last year, but actually, really, the aerodynamics are so impressive. What do you think?
Nice surprise. I don't really expected something like that, because the last year, as Davide told before, we ended super well the season. The feeling on the bike was super good, but I think Aprilia still they are believe that they can improve the bike, and let's try the new aero packet, because looks like really nice. Hopefully on the track can work like before or a little bit better.
Well, the Golf design looks fast, but certainly the aerodynamics play a big part here. How did you adapt to riding with such downforce on the bike?
I don't really feel it compared to the bikes, so it's fine.
Perfect. Everything is good for you. I'm glad. So, Raul, you have actually got more experience than anybody currently on an Aprilia. This is your 4th year. Now, Davide talked about how much development progress the factory made in 2025. And what are your expectations then heading into 2026?
Well, as Davide told, I am the rider with more experience in Aprilia. But I have to say that the last year, the bike changed a lot. When Fabiano came to Aprilia, he changed a little bit the bike, the mentality. So for me, it was like another bike, and I started from zero. From this year, I would like to make a good precision, because the last 2 years, for some different reason, I had injuries. So it is really important for me, make a good precision, and after that, try to work in ourselves, try to be focused in improve myself, and try to make my best. Because the key in the last part of the last year was that we were not thinking on the other riders, just we were focused on ourselves, and this is the principal thing that I would like to to think on the 26th year.
Well, excellent targets, Raul. Now, Ai, you've got a full rookie season behind you and experience on the RSGP and some of the tracks. What are your targets for this year?
To make better results. But no, I think the last year Aprilia shows that, Aprilia shows enough that the bike is competitive. We can fight for the victory. So it's all on me now. So yeah, I expect something better this year.
Good, pure focus. I like the sound of that. So we've heard the riders' first reactions to the new designs and some of the developments. Two key people who couldn't be with us in person today have shared their thoughts for the season ahead. First, the founder and owner of Trackhouse Racing, Justin Marks.
Welcome to our 2026 MotoGP team season. This is the start of year 3 for the USA's only premier class team of the modern era, and one that has seen us grow in stature, experience, and recognition for our performance on track and our global fan base, which grows daily across North America and all points around the world. Last season, 2025, saw the Trackhouse team find speed and success. Raul Fernandez scored his first MotoGP podium with our beautiful Gulf colors in the Indonesia sprint race. Next time out, he podiumed again on Sprint Saturday at Phillip Island and went even better on Sunday, taking his first Premier Class Grand Prix victory to lift the Australian Winners' Trophy and give Trackhouse its first MotoGP win in only our second season in the championship. Trackhouse is an organization that believes in young talent, and that meant we were very happy to capture the 2024 Moto2 champion, Ogura. This measured, deep-thinking kid from Japan has raw speed and all the makings of a future Premier Class winner. He was not far off at his very first MotoGP race with a 4th place finish, and despite some heavy crashes through his rookie campaign, he showed that he's a fast learner and has the pace and ability to be a front runner soon. I founded Trackhouse in 2020 as an organization focused on racing in the NASCAR Cup Series. The team hit the track in 2021 and, like the MotoGP team, went to victory lane for the first time in just our 2nd season. That year ended with Ross Chastain wheeling our #1 Trackhouse Chevrolet to 2nd in the Cup standings. And as of the end of 2025, we can look back at 14 wins in the NASCAR Cup Series. Now, with the taste of victory in MotoGP, we're so hungry for more, and I could not be more excited about our season to come in MotoGP with Raul and I, and in NASCAR with Ross, Shane, and our latest rookie, Connor Zilic. As an elite-level motorsports organization, we are racing with world-class partners. In NASCAR and MotoGP, Trackhouse is carving new stories with every one of our partners. And today, you have seen the incredible 2026 color scheme of our Golf bike. As a kid, I grew up loving these colors on the Ford GT40s and the Porsche 917s at the Le Mans 24-hour race. Even more when Steve McQueen, the coolest of them all, immortalized Golf in the movie theaters. Now, to have 5 races in the coming MotoGP season with both our bikes running Golf colors, it's a dream come true, and we are honored, grateful, and excited to be racing with them through 2026. I truly believe our teams are capable of great success in the coming 11 months, both on 4 wheels and 2 wheels. I cannot wait for us to get underway in Thailand for round 1 of the MotoGP World Championship. Thank you for tuning in and for all your great support. We're hungry for more success and taking you with us when Raul and I get on track with these awesome Trackhouse Aprilia RSGP 26s. See you all soon.
And we have a message from the CEO of Golf, Mike Jones, the man responsible for bringing those iconic colors to MotoGP with Trackhouse.
Welcome to the launch of the 2026 MotoGP season, Golf's 2nd year in the premier class of motorcycle racing. We had a great first season with the Trackhouse MotoGP team, and this coming year promises to be even better. Golf is synonymous with motorsports. Justin's spoken about his love of the early days at Le Mans, and we are continuing to push this legacy forward as we move into our 125th year as a leading manufacturer of lubricants. We look forward to celebrating a significant milestone with the Trackhouse MotoGP team throughout the 2026 season. MotoGP represents the pinnacle of motorcycle evolution and captures the passion of millions of fans on a global platform. The evolved 2026 colour scheme will really stand out on track. The introduction of the rider names to both bike and liveries builds the awareness and fandom of the brilliant riders even further. I look forward to seeing how Raul and I perform on their Gulf livery bikes at round 1 in Thailand. This year we have 5 livery races, with both bikes in full Gulf colours, including a race in Europe at Mugello for the Italian Grand Prix weekend. This will be Gulf's first time on track at a European MotoGP race, which is going to be exciting for us and fans alike. I personally cannot wait until we go racing in the most advanced, competitive and fastest motorcycle race series on earth. Together, we're unstoppable.
Well, Davide, Trackhouse is the only American team in the MotoGP World Championship. How important is that for the championship itself and for the growing American interest in possibly future American riders in MotoGP?
Yeah, we of course, we're very proud to be an American team into the MotoGP, which has been so far mainly more European based and with Japanese manufacturer. And to have America is very important because it's not a secret that one of the target also from Liberty Media that just acquired the MotoGP, but anyway, for the MotoGP in general is to penetrate more into US, to become more popular into the US territory. And so we hope we can give our contribution. We're happy to contribute, and also we can feel it when we race in the US Grand Prix in Austin. We have a lot of fans there, a lot of people supporting us. This is very nice. And of course, we're looking forward to help and to support the championship to be more popular in the USA.
Well, looking ahead to 2026, can we expect Trackhouse in Gulf and Trackhouse colours to build on last year and be right at the front?
Yeah, last year has been quite important season because we had a great start with I, as we say in the first race. We were the best bike behind the Ducatis that at the time were quite strong, so it was a great result. And then, of course, by the end of the season, the progress we have made with the bike, with Raul, ending up to winning Australia, which was a big achievement for us, has shown that we could achieve a great result. Without forgetting that also in the last race in Valencia, we were very close to win again. Only a few tenths from the winner, actually another Aprilia, Marco Bezzecchi. So the bike is very good, and also this win in Australia has been very important for us because being Trackhouse, a winning team in a NASCAR, we felt a kind of a pressure. We had to do again. We had to do the same with MotoGP, and to be able to achieve a victory in our second season of MotoGP on Trackhouse color has been a great achievement, and so now we know we can do. We score podium in a sprint, podium in a main race, so why not to try again? And of course, it's very difficult. MotoGP is a very competitive championship and strong riders, strong bikes, but we want to dream and we try to do again.
Well, that sounds promising, Davide. And from what we've heard from the riders, they are fully focused going into 2026. And that does end our launch on a very good note. So thank you to Davide for being with us, and to our riders, Raul and Ai, gracias and arigatou gozaimasu. And my thanks to Justin Marks and to Mike Jones from Gulf. The season is almost here. Testing begins in 2 weeks in Sepang, Malaysia, before the 2026 campaign gets underway in Buriram, Thailand at the very beginning of March, with Raul and I on their Gulf Trackhouse RS GP26 bikes. Thank you to all our fans around the world for all your support. We really appreciate you. Now, there's plenty more to come on track and new stories from Trackhouse and Gulf across our social channels. We can't wait to take you racing with us in 2026. Now, to sign off, it's over to Justin.
Every great American story starts with a risk. Trackhouse MotoGP began with one, stepping onto the world's fastest stage and choosing to disrupt instead of waiting our turn. Risk isn't a slogan for us. It's how we operate in the garage, on the grid, and every lap. Raul Fernandez, aggressive, explosive, uncompromising, He rides to change races. Ogura, precise, composed, relentless, a quiet force with a sharp edge when it matters most. Trackhouse enters the 2026 season ready and with the confidence to invite the world to witness history in motion.
What a treat. I've got to say, I am really, really looking forward to seeing both of those liveries on track. Amazing. Very nice designs, beautiful, nicest bike on the grid. Thank you very much, Christian 171263. Feel like I'm reading out someone's postcode or end of phone number there. Gotta say, the Gulf, fantastic. But the improvements to the full-time Trackhouse livery itself, one of my favourites. I think it blends much nicer this year. It was a bit of a colour clash last year, let's be honest. But brilliant designs for both of them. You're going to see the Gulf one on track at 5 events. You're going to see the Trackhouse one on track for the rest of them, and that is not included wildcards. We have got a poll. It's the most obvious question that we can ask. Which livery do you like the most? Gulf livery, the special one that we'll see a little bit on track, or the Trackhouse one? I really, really like both of them. So do get your comments coming in. I'm really torn on which one I like most. I've got to say, the one with the American flag are just beautiful for me. 65-35 at the moment. I am sure that is going to change. So yeah, do just keep your comments coming in and letting us know what you do think. But what a way to get underway for Trackhouse. Tell you what, they'll probably be selling plenty of merchandise across the next few weeks over those liveries, that's for sure. The Gulf colour is fire, y'all. Croaking Frog 2871. Again, thank you very, very much for that. Gotta say, the thing is with the Gulf one, we've seen it and it's still spectacular. But I do like the Trackhouse one. If I could vote for both, I'd vote for both. Very, very good indeed. Lovely. Thank you for that. I think that's meant to say Snicker. Great colours. The Incisor. Welcome back. Do keep your comments coming in, of course. We'll try and get through as many as possible. Just beautiful, isn't it? Every single angle is absolutely wonderful. The best looking bike on the grid, hands down. Thank you very much for that comment, Ferdizer 7904. There's some good liveries out there this year, isn't there? There's always good liveries, but I've got the feeling that the ante has really been cranked up this year. We are on for a very, very nice looking MotoGP grid, aren't we? They passed the game. Thank you very much, Mark46. Do keep your thoughts coming in. This is the best Trackhouse livery ever. I can't disagree with you there. I do believe that is the best Trackhouse livery we have seen, and it is going to look very, very good at the front of the MotoGP field, whichever livery is used, that is for sure. Close poll, 67% versus 33%. I'm sure if we'd asked you that last year, it was going to be pretty much way more in favour of the Gulf one, but the Trackhouse one that they'll run all, well, for all of the rounds, they don't run the other one. It's something like 17, I believe. I'm a fan of it. I really, really am a fan of it. But do keep your thoughts coming in. We are going to be hearing from the riders very, very soon. But do keep in mind that before the season does get underway, the MotoGP store is always open online. Go and check it out. Get your favourite team merchandise for the season. Gear up for the 2026 season at the official MotoGP store. store.motogp.com. And get get thinking how to spend those Christmas readies and thinking in birthday presents, because a MotoGP store gift is always something pretty special. Now, we're going to get on with the interviews now. I believe Ogura is ready. Let's find out what the Japanese star had to say ahead of this brand new 2026 season.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's matched well with my personal color. My favorite color is blue, so yeah, I like the both of them, and yeah, can't wait to go out on a track with this design. I think for 26 season, I can be more like a bit more confident on the bike after I experience my rookie season in MotoGP. Everything is hopefully everything is a bit more under control this year. I hope so. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but the first test is going to be really important. So yeah, can't wait to start. For sure, one of the big target this season will be grid position. Last season, we could be competitive during the race, but the grid position has been always it's not the best. So yeah, we really need to work on, especially in the testing days. I'm sure that we can improve the kind of time attack session, something like that. So yeah, hopefully we can be better at most of the part this season. Example like last year, I saw a lot of people with 79 t-shirts or the caps or whatever. So yeah, I really feel a lot of support from the Japanese fans, and as you said, unfortunately I missed the Japan GP last year. So yeah, hopefully I can race front of them this season. I took a lot of bike time during the winter, so yeah, feel like I'm ready to start. So.
Well, I've got to say, Ogura just saying how confident he is going to be in 2026 and how important it's going to be to have confidence moving through into his second season of MotoGP. There were no doubt at times last year where he had plenty, but there were probably times where experience was needed. And let's be fair, MotoGP, it isn't for the faint-hearted. If it was easy, even I'd be doing it. And it isn't easy. It's far from it. It is probably the hardest sport on earth in terms of physical ability, relentlessness, rhythm, and, you know, Ogura, he might have been familiar with it coming through the ranks, but MotoGP's Premier Class is a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it? So, Ogura, confidence, consistency is going to be key, and, well, he said it himself, backing up what I was alluding to earlier on, the fact that he just needs to improve in qualifying. You get the feeling that if he can get on the front three rows, he will be able to have a say in the top 5, top 6 on a regular occurrence. Qualifying down in 15th, 16th on the 5th and 6th rows of the grid, probably not ideal. And MotoGP, it doesn't get any easier, does it, as the seasons roll on. So Ogura, really a hot outside tip for a charge into the top 10 in 2026. But let's have another look at that livery now, slightly changing much more in favour of the Gulf livery, 71% versus 29% with the Trackhouse one, but I still like the Trackhouse one, I've got to say. The Gulf one, it's just classic, it's retro, it's very, very well done. I love them both. I can't decide. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to sit on the fence and get a few more splinters on my rear end, because it's very, very hard to pick a favourite out of that one. Now, we've heard from Ogura. Let's hear from a Grand Prix winner in 2025, Raul Fernandez.
I like a lot the new livery. The Gulf one is almost the same one. but the Trackhouse is a little bit different. I think with more carbon parts, looks like more aggressive. But anyway, the important thing is the bike can be fast on the track, and let's try to make our best. Anyway, the first thing is we have a very nice colors, so we will be very nice on track also. I think we changed a lot of things the last year, especially because at the beginning of the year in the Sepang test I have a big crash and I was injured for the rest of the pre-season. But at the beginning, also the first 5 races was quite difficult for me. I don't really felt well the bike. I had a lot of problems to enjoy on the bike, but we had one magic pizza between the Jerez race and Jerez test that maybe from this moment changed everything. And from there, we start to create the confidence on the bike. We change something on the bike. I changed a little bit also my mentality, and we start to be fast. And yeah, we end super well the season. We got a good result, especially in the last part of the season. And I think it was the consequence of the work that we made during the season, to have an incredible team, to have Davide and Justin behind us, and this is the key, no? Have a family on the track. The crash from the last year was quite extreme for me. I mean, the pre-season was almost the same that this year in terms of training in my home. The different thing, or the different thing that I would like to change is the result of the test, because the injuries was for the crash on the test. But anyway, I am really motivated. I feel fit to ride the bike, and I am ready to start the season. I think we have to be really focused on ourselves. We don't have to think a lot on the result. The result is the consequence of the work, and we have to be focused on what we have to can control. I mean, we need to improve ourselves every day, and we need to try to be competitive every day. To get another victory, hopefully can happen, but I am not thinking on that. I am thinking to enjoy like in the last races, and the result will come for sure.
Gotta say, I don't quite believe Raul there when he says he's not thinking about victory. Every motorcycle racer is thinking about victory. But what a season it was. He not so much alluding to the end result. It is more about the hard work and the graft that goes in behind the scenes and throughout all the tests throughout the year and through all the practice sessions and qualifying, and then the points that you accumulate are just the fruit of quite a lot of labour. So I've got to say, Raul Fernandez very, very eloquently put there, and very, very confident that well, if he picks up from where he left off last year and the feeling he had with that RSGP, he's going to be right in the mix. Keep your comments coming in. Go Raul. Thank you for that one. CRMM93. I wonder who you're a fan of. But Raul Fernandez, obviously popular everywhere. And the thing I like about Raul is that he seems so simple in his approach to racing. But it wasn't really until the second half of this year where we really started considering him as a threat. He went very, very under the radar. So really interesting what Raul Fernandez can do. Likewise, Ogura. And I tell you what, there's no one who knows them better than team boss Davide Brivio. Let's find out what he thinks 2026 can hold. He's ready and waiting.
Of course, I like the colors. And first of all, Golf is in these iconic colors like everybody loves as a motorsport fan, and we're so excited to be able to carry on again this livery for this season for the 5 races, and then the new Trackhouse livery in our corporate Trackhouse color, which I think more black, more aggressive, and so yeah, we're quite excited on both sides of the liveries. Yeah, we've been very happy, as I say, with the season of I last year, because it was supposed to be a season where he had to learn, to make experience, understand the MotoGP, and I think this is what he has done. And of course, he also been able to show great performance, especially on the first race, but also through the season. We always see him very competitive in the race. Analyzing lap time, most of the time he was very fast at the end of the race, fast as the top group. We have to improve, of course, the qualifying is becoming very, very important in the MotoGP. And if you are able to start in the first rows, then the weekend goes completely differently. So for sure, this is one area of improvement for next year, to start from a better position. And then the competitiveness is there, the performance is there, and I'm sure we can do something good. We've been talking, I mean, in all the paddock has been talking for many, many years about how talented Raul is and how strong rider he is. And I think last year he was able to show it, you know, to translate into results. And anyway, what's happened last year has been that we had a difficult start. Then when we started to score, to stay in the top 10, then it kept going. So, and then arriving to the win at the end of season. It tells me that Raul gets confidence when the results come. Better are the results, more his confidence is high. And so I hope that this end of season we had last year is another big step on his confidence. And then the talent is there, the potential is there. If we are able to get him confident and convinced of his potential, I think we can try to do good. The good season is to improve what we have done this year. Raul finished in the top 10, but just in a 10 position. So I would say, first of all, to get both riders in the top 10, be able maybe to score some podium. We have to be ready. We have to be there, and when the opportunity comes, just take it. We know it's very difficult. I mean, we don't think it's easy. It's something very complicated to get top results, podium, but we are there, and that's what we have to try to do. And I'm sure that we can have some good weekends through the season, and so we're looking forward to do better than what we've done this year.
I'm fairly sure there's going to be a lot of good weekends at Trackhouse, particularly with Ogura in his second year, and given that fine form and the way that Raul Fernandez ended his 2025 campaign. Can't wait for the season to get underway. It all gets underway in Thailand, then we go to Brazil for the first time in 22 years. America is next up, then it's Qatar. The European Tour begins at Jerez at the end of April. Le Mans in France, followed by Barcelona, Mugello, Balaton Park back again for Hungary. Czechia and Brno back there for a second consecutive year. Assen, the final weekend of June and the final part of the first half of the season. Germany in the second weekend of July. Middle of August, the date for the UK in the heat of summer. Then it's Aragon, Misano and Austria and the Red Bull Ring, the final three of our European Grand Prix before we go to the flyaways. Motegi in Japan, Mandalika in Indonesia, it is Phillip Island in Australia, and then Sepang in Malaysia. Portimao and the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia sign off what is going to be a jam-packed 22 round 18 country calendar. I can't wait to get there to all of you guys and to really get on the planes again and watching the most exciting sport on earth. For today, that is all. We're going to leave you with this though. See you at the next one, and until then, goodbye. Enjoy.
Every great American story starts with a risk. Trackhouse MotoGP began with one. Stepping onto the world's fastest stage and choosing to disrupt instead of waiting our turn. Risk isn't a slogan for us. It's how we operate in the garage, on the grid, and every lap. Raul Fernandez, aggressive, explosive, uncompromising. He rides to change races. Ogura, precise, composed, relentless, a quiet force with a sharp edge when it matters most. Trackhouse enters the 2026 season ready and with the confidence to invite the world to witness history in motion.